So far, this new variant doesn't seem to be worldwide the problem some feared it would. It's certainly very, very contagious, but as for whether it's dangerous, not so much. At least that's the early read to Dr. Kevin Campbell of K-Rock Consulting, President and CEO, cardiologist. Doctor, first off, what do you make of what Norway's doing right now? Not as sweeping as some of the measures, for example, countries like Austria are taking, but taking them nevertheless.
I think they're responding to a spike in cases, which is very different than what you were discussing with regards to New York City just a moment ago. I think they are, they're assessing the situation, responding to it, and I think that's what we have to do on the local level. I think making sweeping mandates all across the board is the wrong way to approach this virus.
All right. In the meantime, with Omicron, I mean, that's the read you get on it, doctor. Now, you're the medical expert, so I'll defer to you, but I'm just going on what the markets were doing today, responding to this notion, maybe seizing on what's happening in Asia and Europe, where their markets went up because they think that while this is something to watch, it's not something to watch out for, that it's not the worry they feared it was. Are they getting ahead of themselves?
I don't think so. I think that, many of us advise watchful waiting as Omicron, emerged. And we talked about the fact that we need a little time to see how virulent it is, what the disease severity looks like, and how transmissible. And in the early phases now, we see that it's very transmissible, but people don't seem to be getting as sick, with one caveat. The unvaccinated, right, they are getting sick and very sick. Those with vaccines, they seem to be doing pretty well with very mild symptoms.
You and I have talked about this before, Doctor, about the number of people unvaccinated who are not moved by these latest Omicron developments, instead using it as proof that vaccines don't work. This happens in a heavily vaccinated world, and they say, the hell with it. What do you say?
I think it's really unfortunate because I think this is actually just the opposite. It proves that vaccines do work. What we're seeing is instead of everyone dying from a new variant every time a new variant happens, we're seeing that we are having some resistance to it, some immunity to it. Vaccines aren't there to make sure that no one gets sick at all. Vaccines are there to prevent severe disease, severe illness, and debilitation. So I think they're doing their job, and they're doing their job quite well.
Doctor, always great catching up with you. Dr. Kevin Campbell, cardiologist, K-Rock Consulting President and CEO.